In this video we're gonna cover what should we do to stop overthinking and being stressed out. Hi guys, this is Valentin. On this channel I share with you all the gold nuggets that I learned from working with more than 800 people, a bunch of millionaires, and investing over 100k into myself. Subscribe to this channel so you can get the next gold nuggets. So now, how to stop overthinking? How to stop being stressed out all the time? Well, there's three things you need to understand here. Your mind, the real danger, and yourself. And the first thing here is your mind. What I mean by this is, your mind has three powers. It has the power to understand, it has the power to manifest, if we go into the woo-woo type of stuff, and it has the power to control. And what I mean by this is next. Your mind, it's what's giving you the capability to watch this video and grasp something. Your mind is the thing that helps you get better, improve yourself, read the books, make the courses, learn something. Your mind does that. Now it also has the possibility to manifest by visualization, by the law of attraction. And again, this is the woo type of shit. We're gonna get into another video about this because there's a lot of bullshit out there in today's world about manifestation. But you can do that too. But it can also control if you let it. What I mean by this is, your mind can only exist in the past or the future. It's like a little devil that you have inside of you that has some kind of consciousness, that has some kind of independence, and that can only live in the future or in the past. Remember a moment where you were under pressure and you were fully present into an action. Let's say the moment before a run out, the moment where you're prepared to start the run and you hear 3, 2, 1, go. What are you thinking about something in that moment? What are you stressing about something in the past or the future? What were you thinking? And chances are, in that moment, you're thinking only about that moment. And that's being present. And we all had glimpses of presence into our past. But most of the time we're living either in the past, either in the future. And the mind is a perfect tool, but it's a very, very bad master. And when you attach yourself to the future or to the past, you're constantly gonna get dragged. You're gonna get dragged out of your present moment and your mind's gonna start to control you. And what the mind does when you start to control you, well, it's just like looping yourself up into questions and thoughts and assumptions of maybe they will think that about me. What if this happens? What if that volcano explodes? What if I lose my job? What if I lose my car? What if she cheats on me? It always starts to think and it never ends. And just think about it. Was there a moment in your life where your mind just by itself, by the goodness of its heart, just ended and stopped bothering? The answer is no. It's always in the loop going, thinking about something, if you let it. So most of the time when you overthink or you're stressed, it's because you think about either the future, either the past. If you're stressed, you're thinking about the future. If you overthink, chances are you think about the past. Now, how to change that? Get back to the present moment. Because when you are in the present moment, like before a run out, you're not thinking about the future, not thinking about the past, and your mind cannot control it. Your mind cannot exist. You are there and you're controlling it. Now, let's give you something that's gonna help you do this. So, let's talk about future and past for a second. Most of your fears are surrealist. They're not real. They're just imaginary. And to prove this point, imagine for the past 12 months, this year that just passed, what were your biggest fears? What were the biggest fears that you're obsessing and being paranoid about, that you're thinking that they might come true? Now the question is, how many of these fears actually became true? And literally, take a little moment to grasp this. How many of your fears became true? And chances are, not many. Why? Because they're not fucking real. Because you're just projecting your fears onto the future and imagining how is the future be like if your fears are gonna appear as true. But they don't. So, first point here is, look into your past and realize that most of the fears never became true. Some of them became. But keep in mind that your fears can become true because you produced them. Because if you're afraid about something, chances are you're going to produce it unconsciously. And to give you an example, let's say you're in a relationship and you're afraid that that person is going to cheat on you. And to avoid that, you always try to be controlling and to presume if they're going to cheat on you. You try to be controlling, you don't let them go out, you restrain their freedom, or you're making the police for them, trying to see if they hide something from you. And look, if you do that enough, at some point your partner is gonna get pissed off. And if you do that enough and you restrain his freedom enough, at some point it's gonna explode. And when it explodes, it might translate into some kind of cheating. But the thing is that you contributed to that cheating. And somewhat, in some shape or form, you created that fear. So once you realize that most fears are not real, and if they are, well, chances are you created them, let's go to the past. And the thing about the past is you're gonna hold on onto everything that you're not really willing to accept. What I mean by accepting is you're gonna hold on onto everything that you're not ready to accept as truth. You're gonna loop your past into your head, hoping that something's gonna change. But the problem is nothing is gonna change. And you have to realize that what happened, happened. And you have to let go of people and stop hoping that they're gonna excuse themselves or they're gonna make up for the mistakes they've done. You have to let go of the mistakes that you've done and accept the consequences that came with them. You just have to look at the reality and stop having a crisis like a child that is not accepting something, that wants things to be different. You have to accept that things are the way they were, and you're not gonna accept this. And I know this sounds cliche and sounds easy, and your mind might understand this, but your body didn't integrate this, because if you're still thinking about the past and what happened a couple years ago, you still didn't accept it, and you're still hoping for another outcome that has already come, but you don't want to see it. So wake up, realize that what happened is not gonna change, and that's fine. It's fine. Just move on. And presence is accepting the past as it is, and stop wishing to change it, and stop wanting to control the future. And once you're able to do these two, by default, you're gonna be in the present moment. Now, the third component here to stop overthinking and stop stressing is trusting yourself. And what I mean by this is trusting your capability of dealing with anything that life will bring to you. Because look, most of your fears are not real. However, there is gonna be some fucked up shit that's gonna happen to you. And you just have to trust that at that point, when it's gonna happen, and we don't know, and that's scary, and I get you, but you just have to trust that you're gonna be able to deal with it. And a good exercise to help you with this is 25 shits that happened in your life and you couldn't see them, and it just came like a fucking knockout, but you dealt with it. And it can be when you were like in the second grade and you had a surprise test from your teacher and you were not prepared, up to, I don't know, maybe a person betraying you, cheating on you, or maybe a business partner letting you down. So make a list of those fucked up moments that you had, and then look at how you dealt with that. And realize that you turned out okay. And realize that you're here, you're watching this video, maybe you're happy, maybe you're not, maybe you're satisfied with your life, maybe not, but you went through it, you got out of it. Realize that no matter what life will throw at you, the moment it is going to throw that at you, you're gonna be ready to handle it. You're gonna be able to handle it. And a big key here is the next one. When you worry about something, if it's gonna happen, you're staying stuck. You're the same version of yourself over and over again because you're not evolving, you're not doing anything. Your body is here, but your mind is thinking about what could happen. And you constantly think about what could happen, and then you lose all your time thinking about that and focusing on that, instead of focusing on yourself now and doing shit now. Let's take again the example of a partner cheating on you. If you're always focusing on that, you're never gonna be able to be here and enjoy the time you spend with your partner. You're never gonna be present to the discussions that you have with him, so you can get to know him better and get him to know you better. You're never gonna be able to express yourself the way you want because you're always gonna be focused on what happens if that partner is gonna cheat on you. And the thing is, you stay the same, and the relationship stays the same. However, if you just let go of that fear, and you're not thinking about that anymore, and you're here in the present, you get to know your partner better, you get to know yourself better, you get to set boundaries, you get to discuss, you get to enjoy life together, you get to get new experiences together. And that, all of that makes you evolve, makes the partner evolve, makes the relationship evolve, which means, first of all, it diminishes the chances as much as possible of that fear not happening. And secondly, even if it's gonna happen, with all these discussions, all these experiences that you had, you're gonna be a different version of yourself with more capabilities that can handle that potential fear better. So here's my point. If you're thinking about the fear, you're gonna lose all your time, energy, and resources just in the fucking air. You're not gonna do anything with it. And you're gonna stay stuck. However, if you accept that it might potentially happen, and you come back to the present, and all your energy is focused here and now, and living this present moment, you evolve the most. You evolve the most and you become the best better version of yourself the moment when you're fully present and fully engaged in what you're doing then. And if you're fully present and engaged now, every single now into the future, you evolve the most at the most productive way, at the most productive rate. Which means, again, either your fear is not going to happen because you're that new version, and even if it happens, you are able to handle it. So stop thinking about what might happen. Accept that there's always the small percentage that it will happen, and that's fine. Let go of the attachment and be fully engaged with what you're doing now. This way you're going to evolve more and be prepared for that. So trust yourself, because no matter what life will bring to you, you're going to be able to handle it. If you stay in the present and you work on yourself and you're fully engaged with what you're experiencing right now. And look, control equals insecurity. Self-esteem equals freedom. Stop trying to control the future, because that way you maximize the chances of that happening. And you better use that energy to work on yourself, on your self-esteem, so you feel more and more free. So instead of worrying about the future, be here now and work on yourself now, on your self-esteem. And by the way, if you want to know how to do that, check out this video about self-esteem and self-confidence. Now, with that being said, if you like this video and if it resonated with you, please subscribe and click down that notification button so you get the next gold nugget first. And all the time, at the end of the video, I don't know what to do. So I'm not gonna cut this. You see that I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. With that being said, I like you, bro. Thank you for watching this until this point. I think you're one of the rarest guys that is going to watch this until the end. I love you. Please hit a like if you're now, like, it's more intimate. It's just me and you. Please hit a like. It's gonna help. A comment if you don't mind. And yeah, I'll go take a cup of tea, prepare a shisha. It's 11 p.m. here. Prepare for my sleep. I wish you a beautiful day, night, evening, whatever the fuck time is to your place. Love you, bro. See you in the next video.